When my uncle mocked my dad's death, I baked him a cake with my dad inside. My dad died when I was 10. Heart attack. Middle of the night. I was the one who found him. Cold. Still. Face tilted toward the door like he was trying to reach me. For a long time, I blamed myself if I'd gotten up earlier. If I'd noticed something was wrong. He was a mechanic. Not flashy, not loud. The kind of man who remembered birthdays without Facebook and knew how to fix your radiator and your mood in the same afternoon. After he died, I couldn't bring myself to touch anything in his garage. Not the half-fixed lawnmower. Not the open pack of gum on his workbench. But I kept one thing. A tiny container of his ashes. Just a small bit. The funeral home let us keep. I hid it inside one of his old toolboxes, buried under sockets and bolts like it belonged there. My mom, she crumbled. Started drinking too much, sleeping too little. And then came Uncle Brad, my dad's older brother. The guy who shows up with a bottle of whiskey and advice no one asked for. He moved in temporarily to help. 2 months later, he was wearing my dad's slippers and rearranging the fridge like he paid for it. He wasn't grieving. He was taking over. He started calling the garage his space, covered up my dad's framed NASCAR poster with a dartboard, boxed up my dad's things, and left them in the attic. One day, I came home and saw him cleaning the workbench. I panicked, ran in, checked the toolbox. The ashes were still there, but he looked at me and laughed. Said, "What, you think your little ghost jar's gonna bring him back?" That was the first time I really hated someone. Over the next few years, Brad got comfortable. Too comfortable. He convinced my mom to sell the old truck my dad restored. He threw out the flannel jacket my dad wore every winter because it smelled like mildew. He made snide jokes, called my dad a sentimental grease monkey, said he was too soft to make real money, and every time I snapped, my mom told me to let it go, but I didn't. I kept that tiny jar hidden, moved it from garage to bedroom to backpack every time Brad started snooping. And one night at 17, I overheard him in the kitchen talking to a friend on speaker. He said, "I don't know why she clings to the memory of that loser. She needed a real man, not some broke grease rat with cholesterol problems." I sat in the hallway, shaking, eyes burning. That was it. I knew then. I wasn't going to argue. I wasn't going to fight. I was going to bury him in his own words, but not with a speech, with a recipe. Brad's birthday was coming up. He made a huge deal of it every year. Called it Brad's Big Bash. Gross, I know. He invited coworkers, old drinking buddies, even the guy who delivered his cigarettes. Asked me to whip up one of those cakes I used to bake with Daddy Dearest. Smirked when he said it, like it was a joke. I smiled back. "Sure thing, Brad." The night before, I got to work. I used my dad's old chocolate cake recipe, the one he always messed up. Half the time it came out lopsided. He'd say it had character. This time, it was perfect. I measured every ingredient down to the gram. Cocoa, eggs, flour, and, in the smallest bowl, a single spoonful of gray dust. I stirred it in last, gently, quietly, like it was sacred. The next day, Brad's bash was as obnoxious as expected. Loud music, cheap beer, cigars in the backyard. He posed for selfies next to a King Brad banner. When it was time for cake, I brought it out on a silver tray. Homemade, frosted, perfect. He made a joke about it, something like, "Hope this one doesn't kill me." Everyone laughed. I just said, "It's got a little something special this year." He ate 2 slices, smacked his lips, said it was the best damn cake he'd ever had. I nodded. Glad you liked it. It was Dad's recipe. Later that night, when the guests were gone, and he was bragging about his new promotion, I left the empty cake tin on the counter. Taped underneath it, a note. "Hope he tasted familiar. You said he didn't leave anything behind." I disagree. I didn't see the aftermath. I packed my bags the next morning and moved in with a friend from school. I heard he lost it. Screamed. Accused me of poisoning him. My mom didn't believe him. Why would she? There was no proof. Just a note and a very clean dish. Brad left a few weeks later. Quietly. No goodbyes. My mom said he needed time to think. I didn't ask what she meant. That little jar? It was empty now. But I didn't feel like I lost my dad again. If anything, I'd finally given him the last word.